In this video, you'll learn how to prepare the roasted peppers. The peppers are currently available in cans, and the key ingredients are roasted red peppers, water, and salt. There are no ingredients in here that is linked to any of the big 8 food allergens. Next, let's go over on how to prepare the peppers. After opening the can, it's important to transfer all the ingredients over into a NSF container and cover it with a lid. It's important to keep the original liquid, as this will help preserve the peppers during storage. Afterwards, the peppers must be kept in a cooler below 41 degrees, and the shelf life after opening from the original package is 5 days. Before preparing the peppers, it is best practice to only take what you need for your daily production. And before using, you'll need to remove the charred black skin. These are left over from the cooking process, and in some peppers, you'll also need to remove the actual skin that was not entirely taken off before. But the majority of peppers will already be packed as skinless. The best way to do this is to gently rinse the peppers over running cold water and rub off all the charred skin with your fingers. But be careful not to damage them, as they do tend to break easily if handled too rough. And afterwards, you'll end up with a beautiful product like this. Once they're rinsed, drain out any remaining water and store it in an NSF container. If you're preparing a large amount of peppers, it would be a good idea to use a drain shelf. They must be covered, date labeled, and placed in a cooler prior to use. Again, the shelf life is 5 days from the time their original package was opened, so please refer to that date before writing on the date label. And also, it is not recommended to store the peppers in tap water. Please keep them in their original liquid or dry once they have been washed. A key factor to keep in mind is that some peppers will come in whole pieces, while others will be broken apart as shown in the video. And depending on what recipe you're making, you can pick and choose which pieces you want to use. For example, it's better to use the whole pieces for the Veggie TNT roll, and the broken ones can be saved for making the spicy pepper roll, since that roll requires smaller cut pieces. So now that you know how to prepare the peppers, please watch the training videos on the Veggie TNT and the spicy pepper roll to learn more. In this video, you'll learn how to make the Veggie TNT roll. To prepare the peppers, they need to be cut open first, and then slice off the bottom curved tips, and these can be saved for making the spicy pepper roll. If there are any remaining seeds, this is the time to take them out before they cut down into smaller pieces. As you're cutting the peppers, it's a good idea to make straight cuts. This way, the peppers will fit nicely together on top of the roll later on and get a more even covering. So for the ingredients, you'll need 25 gram avocado, 30 gram cucumber, 25 gram jalapeno, 60 gram of pepper, spicy mayonnaise, and scallions. To prepare the jalapeno, cut off the stem and make sure to remove all the seeds and as much of the white core as possible. This is a very important step, because if these are left behind, it will become too spicy for the customer. And since this is an udamaki style roll, the standard weight of sushi rice is 120 grams. To start making the roll, spread the sushi rice evenly across a half sheet of nori and flip it upside down. And there's no need for any sesame seeds for this recipe. Now begin adding the cucumber, jalapeno, and avocado. And once everything is added, go ahead and roll it as tight as you can. Afterwards, start to layer the peppers on top of the roll. There's no need to overlap the pieces, just make sure the pieces are cut straight as shown before, so it covers all the rice on the top. Then go ahead and use a sheet of wax paper to help you shape it up with the makitsu, and then cut it into 8 pieces. Once cut, you can use the makitsu to help shape it again before removing the wax paper. For plating, the current tray for Hisho stores is the HS03 container, but please update to the most current container assigned by Hisho in the future. And by the way, it's a good idea to turn around the first and last piece of the roll. This way you'll make it easier for the customer to see immediately what's inside when they pick up the package. Next, place a small amount of spicy mayonnaise on top of each piece, and then add a touch of cut scallion over it. Afterwards, use 2 pieces of baron on each side of the roll for the wasabi and ginger. And if you're a Sprout store, please use the HPO2 tray, and you'll need to present the roll in a different shape since this is a smaller container. So let's recap several important key elements when making this item. First, store the peppers in an NSF container after opening. Second, the shelf life of the roasted peppers are 5 days after opening. Third, the 2 allergens in this recipe are soy and egg, and this is because of the spicy mayonnaise used. 4, you'll need to use HS03 container if you're a Hisho store or a HPO2 if you're a Sprouts. 5, and lastly, since the recipe does call for spicy mayonnaise, it is advised to use a spicy sticker on the package. The Veggie TNT is a great sushi roll for drawing people's attention because of its naturally bright red color similar to that of fresh tuna. So it's a wonderful item that's going to help get customers to check out your showcase. And also, if you have a customer who is a vegan, you can always offer to make it without the spicy mayonnaise. In this video, you'll learn how to make the spicy pepper roll. Before making the roll, a key factor to keep in mind is that some peppers will come in whole pieces, while others will be broken apart as shown in the video. For this application, it is more sensible to use the broken pieces since it will be sliced up into smaller strips, and the whole pieces can be saved for making the Veggie TNT roll since that roll demands for more uniform pieces for the topping. Also, the peppers come seeded, however, it is a good idea to cut out any remaining seeds from the inside that was not completely removed before. So now that you know how to prepare the peppers, let's review the key ingredients you'll need for this roll. You'll need sliced avocado, cut cucumbers, and sliced peppers roughly about 1/5 of an inch thick. And since this is a standard udamaki roll, you'll need 120 grams of sushi rice. To make this roll, you'll need to spread the sushi rice evenly across a half sheet of nori. In addition, you'll need to sprinkle black and white sesame seeds over the top, then flip it upside down. Now begin placing the fillings inside. The key for this roll is to make sure the cucumbers and peppers are as tight as possible. Try not to leave too much space in between. This is what prevents slippage later when you roll, because if this happens, the cucumber and pepper will mix together and this won't look as appealing to the customer. And once the avocado is inside, go ahead and roll it as you normally would with an udamaki roll. It's important to use all your fingers to help hold the peppers in place as you turn. Again, this will prevent them from mixing with the cucumbers. And after you're done rolling, if there are any loose ingredients coming from the side, use the makisu to help push it back in place like you see in the video. Once the roll is ready, cut it into 8 pieces, which is the standard amount for udamaki style rolls. And prior to plating, drizzle 6 grams of spicy mayonnaise over the base of the tray, and then go ahead and place the pieces flat on top of it, making sure to leave enough space at the bottom for the wasabi and ginger. The current tray we're using right now is HS03. However, please update to the most current package assigned by Hisho at a later time. Also, if you have a Sprouts location, you'll need to use the HPO2 container, and the roll and the condiments are positioned in the same manner as shown. And if you watch closely, you'll notice in both containers, the instructor was careful not to drizzle spicy mayonnaise over the space where the wasabi and ginger are placed. So let's recap several important key elements when making this item. First, store the peppers in an NSF container after opening. Second, The shelf life of the roasted peppers are 5 days after opening. Third, the two allergens in this recipe are soy and egg, and this is because of the spicy mayonnaise used. 4, you'll need to use HSO3 container if you're a Hisho store or a HPO2 if you're a Sprouts. 5, and lastly, since the recipe does call for spicy mayonnaise, it is advised to use a spicy sticker on the package. And keep in mind, this roll along with the Veggie TNT Roll are two great alternatives to offer customers that are looking for sushi without fish or shellfish. So if you have customers that want something new and different, this is a great item to offer.